And here we are. So let's do a real dirty, try to catch up to where we were before. And I'm going to turn this off for a minute. I'll probably forget to turn it back on, but sorry about that in advance. So I'm going to come here. I am going to hit accept. I'm going to come to flight plan, and this is a copy plotted route. I'm not sure. So then if I select, oh, can't select, there you get it too, enter. And so there we go. So I'm not going to bother with SIDS and stars at this moment. I may try to put in a star while we're flying. Kind of, you know, caused enough issues already for this. So let's put in our fuel real quick. I already know what it is because I've done it enough times. Enter. So we got our fuel in, so we'll be able to look at our performance data. Let's come up here and get the engines going. I'm just going to switch that right to white. I'm going to put that to white. I'm not even going to bother with the... I'll put the tie on, I guess. Right, let's come down here, put the control locks. This is a disengage. These need to go up to the start and feather position. Let's switch to engine 2. We'll get that going. We'll turn on our fasten seat belts. We'll turn on our bleeds. We'll put this to minimum. We'll turn up our cabin temperature. Good enough. And we need to put this up to landing altitude, which will be about 1,600 feet. We'll leave the ice protection off. We'll put this on. We'll put the pitot static heaters on. We'll put our taxi lights on. Wing inspection. Boom, boom, boom. Alright, we're just going to turn that off because it belongs off. We're almost going to just get ready as if we're going in the air. So we want our yaw dampers on. We want our anti-skid on. Nose steering is on. Decision altitude, not sure why we put this on for acceleration altitude. We'll put it 1,000 feet above the runway, which would be 120 or 1120. Alright, let's get rid of this for a minute. We don't want add-ons, options, air traffic control. It just takes a while to get a plane in the air, doesn't it? And we'll tune to ATIS. Like I said, I think we're at 1988. Once I saw that, when it's at 2992, that's like the standard fair weather for... Let's see, does this say connected? Waiting for simulator. Interesting. And what does this say? Startup. Yeah, so this is getting that. So why is that not connecting? It didn't connect last time. It had a problem. That's what seemed to have crashed us out. Well, let's see if it picks it up as we go.
Runway 33 right, runway 33 left. If our aircraft change direction of flight, all aircraft reach back hold short instructions. Advise controller on initial contact data X-ray. Baghdad airport information, Yankee 1.
So I'm just coming down here to get our runway heading. 33B 326. Let's see if it... I might have to restart my whole computer. Oops, 326.
Runway 33 right, runway 33 left. If our aircraft change direction of flight, all aircraft reach back hold short instructions.
There we go.
Advise controller on initial contact Yankee.
Shut that guy up for a second. Let's request... Now see, now we can request IFR clearance, which we couldn't do before. So... Yeah, the traffic 360, I don't know what to say. I think that might be conflicting somewhere with something. And if I was just playing and not streaming and all of that stuff, maybe I'd put up with it and troubleshoot it and But since I put that in, I just seem to have more air traffic control problems than it helped. This time I'm going to do this a little different too. I'm going to get this up to... Oh yeah, good. I'm sorry.
Romeo, Echo, Victor, Echo, Romeo, clear to Tbilisi Airport as filed.
I'm going to put the IAS to 205 and we'll climb out at that instead of the go around. I've never noticed the difference. I'm not sure if it's a... So we're going to hit altitude select, we're going to hit heading select so that when we go off we'll be right. We got that set at 326. Let's request a taxi. Taxi lights are on. Let's put our flaps on to 10. Let's turn this off, the control.
Contact tower on 118.7 when ready.
I guess we should start our other engine, huh? Probably would help get in the air if we had both running. And now that we got at least one generator going, we can turn off the external power. So we may be flying without the active Skynex. We'll see if it reconnects in the middle or if it crashes us again. But data, services, cancel the GPU, and that should magically disappear. Oh, sorry. Yeah, trying to get everything done quick, buddy. Talking to you is lower on my list than it should be. Alright, so the GPU is gone. We got a caution light. What do we got? Okay. Pitot static heaters, they seem to stay on at times. Once we get moving, they should be off. Alright. So we want to head over to the left, it looks like. Let's get rid of that. Let's give it a little throttle. Oops. Let's get our condition levers to max. And we should start moving in a second here. Alright, good. We got our air hauler message, so this is going to be a flying morning. Alright, let's slow down a bit.
Approaching 3 left.
Yeah, hopefully we don't go bouncing all over every place. What a crazy bug-ridden morning. Nothing like just getting in a plane and enjoying the flight. So yeah, see, I kind of already miss all the planes sitting around. Yeah, so traffic 360, and I'm not sure if it's an issue. I would imagine the biggest probable conflict would be with the FXT Global and base and all of that stuff. So it seems like
Approaching
the traffic 360 is changing the airport, because as soon as I uninstall it, this airport is fine as far as, you know, where the runways are and taxiways and
approaching 3
calm
left.
down, like, calm down.
Approaching 3 left.
Why does it say
On
approaching?
runway 15 right.
Yeah, see, something else is wrong here too, isn't it?
On runway 15 right.
I am just going too fast. Is that the problem? So it's saying on runway. So that voice is messed up too.
Approaching 3 left.
Let's just tune to Baghdad Tower. Let's see if it recognizes where we're at. should get a message if things aren't totally messed up that, you know, it's option 3 here. Yep, there we go. So
Approaching.
Flight-
3 left.
yeah, now it's saying it right. I'm not sure why she was telling me. All right, let's put on our parking brake real quick. Let's turn off our taxi lights, turn on our landing lights, make sure we have our flaps down. Yep. Caution light's going to be for the parking brake. Turn the switch here to flight. And let's request takeoff clearance.
Romeo, Echo, Victor, Echo, Romeo, ready to go.
Altitude select, 13,000, heading select.
Romeo, Echo, Victor, Echo, Romeo, cleared for takeoff, runway 33 left. Cleared for takeoff, runway 33 left. Romeo,
So let's
Echo,
go
Victor,
forward
Echo,
and-
Romeo.
Take off and we'll see what happens. Hopefully it seems okay, better than it was. It's not a super
On
long
runway.
runway.
3 left.
Alright, so we're gonna hit our brake. We're pointing off to the left a little bit, but that's okay. And let's make sure we don't have any cautions. Nope. Let me center my camera view to where I like it for takeoff and landing. There we go, right about there. Lets me see and hit all the buttons I need to. Let's put this on so you guys can see. Let's shrink it down so that it doesn't take up quite so much room. And let's get out of here. Full throttles. Release the brake. Try to stay in the center of the runway this time. And we have about VR, which is about 104. I forgot to set that. And let's get the autopilot on. Let's get the gear up. As the gear gets up, we will get our flaps up.
Romeo, Echo, Victor, Echo, Romeo, contact Baghdad, departure.
Got a
on
good
128.2.
message up there for air hauler.
Point 128.2. Romeo, Echo, Victor, Echo, Romeo. Baghdad, departure. Romeo, Echo, Victor, Echo, Romeo. Just climbing through 1,400 for 13,000.
Let's get our
Romeo,
rudder
Echo, Victor, Echo, Romeo. Baghdad,
6 right.
departure.
Let's
Roger.
turn our
Altimeter,
air.
2992.
Oops, arc do.
Romeo,
Forgot
Echo,
to turn
Victor, Echo,
on.
Romeo. Turn
Let's
right.
turn on our weather radar.
Proceed on course. Climb and maintain
Ladies
13,000.
and gentlemen,
Turn right heading 360.
Keep your seatbelt fastened during the entire flight. Please observe that this flight is a non-smoking flight.
Acknowledge
Turn right
him.
heading 360. Proceed on course. Climb and maintain 13,000. Romeo, Echo, Victor, Echo, Romeo. Romeo, Echo, Victor, Echo, Romeo. Traffic is 4 o'clock. Fuel miles at 1,100. Boeing 737. Report them in sight.
So nav. 4 o'clock and 2 miles. You see him on this
Baghdad
thing.
departure. World travel 6757 is at 2,300. Climbing 6,000. World travel
don't even see him on-
6757.
oh, that's right, I'm
Baghdad
not-
departure. Roger. Altimeter
What did they tell us to
2992.
squawk?
World travel 6757. Turn left heading 325. Resume on navigation. Climb and maintain 6,000.
7651.
Romeo, Echo, Victor, Echo, Romeo. Traffic alert. 9 o'clock. Less than 1 mile. 4,300. Boeing
I'm trying to
737.
get
Report
this
them in
set.
sight.
And as soon as I get it set, I'll be able
Turn
to see
left
him
heading
on the
325. Resume on navigation. Climb and maintain 6,000. World travel 6757.
There we go. Oh yeah, look
World
at that.
travel
He's
6757.
there he
Traffic
is.
5 o'clock.
So he was well
Fuel
below
miles
us.
At 6,900. Bombardier.
Alright,
Report them in sight. World travel
the-
6757. Traffic in
Let's
sight.
turn our props
Romeo,
down
Echo,
to
Victor, Echo,
900.
Romeo. Contact your group header on 119.0.
And we'll start actually going through some checklists. Let's get us onto nav.
World travel 6757. Climb and maintain
Nav.
14,000. Climb and maintain 14,000. World travel 6757.
There we go. So I had to change my nav source. So that's what you get when you don't go through any checklists. But we're getting in the air. We're trying to catch up back to where we were.
Romeo, Echo, Victor, Echo, Romeo. Did you hear my last transmission? Going
Yes.
1190.025. Romeo, Echo, Victor, Echo, Romeo. Irkutsk Center, Romeo,
So
Echo, Victor,
I
Echo,
don't
Romeo.
know if this flight plan's if he's gonna yell at me the whole way or not. He didn't last
Romeo,
time.
Echo, Victor, Echo, Romeo. Irkutsk Center, Roger.
Yeah, so
Altimeter.
Active Sky Next is not connecting. Waiting for SIM. Is there a way to... Is there a way to... You know, try to reconnect? I don't know what that is. Nah, we don't want to load a weather file. Map. So if it's not connecting on its own, there's no button I can hit. Let's try to close it and open it again. Yep, FSX connected. Wonderful. Now let's see what happens when we get back into this. Now when I hear that ding, it means I need to hit Alt-Enter. Hear the ding again. It'll open up Goofy. I kind of blame it on that air hauler that it does this, but I have seen it do them when air hauler's not open. So I hit Alt-Enter again, and then wait a second here, it'll bring this back up. Let's hit P. Now, let's come over to add-ons, weather request. Let's go to active weather.
Irkutsk Center, world travel 6757.
896. So see how that's...
400 for 14,000.
Seems like the pressure's dropping there.
757.
Set it to that.
Roger. Altimeter.
So now we have Active Sky Next working again, which is good. What else do we need to do? We're getting close to 13,000 feet. He hasn't yelled at me for being off course yet, so hopefully he doesn't. So you can see we're heading back
Romeo, Echo,
towards on
Victor,
course.
Echo, Romeo. Climb and maintain flight level 210. Climb and maintain flight level 210. Romeo, Echo, Victor, Echo, Romeo.
There's 210. Altitude select. That's in IAS. Bring that down to 205. And I want to try...
Romeo, Echo, Victor, Echo, Romeo. Turn left to heading 330.
No. We'll just leave that sit that way, so we'll see what happens. We're gonna go on our flight plan here. What I want to look for is there a way to... I know there's a way when you're outside of the game that you can... What do they want us to do? 330. I'm just gonna ignore her for a minute. And if she cancels us, that's kind of fine.
Romeo, Echo, Victor, Echo, Romeo. Did you hear my last transmission?
Yep, but I'm ignoring you.
6757.
Yeah, I was wondering if there's a way to increase the flight traffic.
Climb and maintain flight level 240. World travel 6757.
That's the view, instrument panel. No, we don't want any of that. I think it would be in here. Speed. Settings, sound, controls,
Romeo Echo
display.
Victor Echo Romeo. Acknowledge last transmission.
Oops. Sorry.
Turn left heading 330. Romeo Echo Victor Echo Romeo.
We'll just ignore him again, even though I acknowledged it. Yeah, just kind of see if I could... realism settings. Maybe that's it. Easy. Okay, we could do indicated airspeed or true airspeed. Doesn't let us change the amount of air traffic. Because I do kind of like that. Other than they do talk an awful lot, so maybe I don't even want it. I mean, they just get to going at it on this thing.
Romeo, please expedite your turn to heading 330.
We're flying our flight plan. We are climbing nicely. I'm going to speed this up to get us back to where we were a little while ago. Hopefully we
Romeo
won't
Echo Victor
crash.
Echo Romeo, please expedite your turn to heading 330. Romeo Echo Victor Echo Romeo.
Eventually
please
she's just
expedite
gonna
your turn
cancel
to
us.
heading 330. Romeo Echo Victor Echo Romeo, please
That's the
expedite
warning.
your turn to heading 330.
Bleeds.
Romeo Echo Victor Echo
Leads.
Romeo, please expedite
Normal.
your turn to heading World Travel 670.
Climb and maintain flight level 300.
World Travel. Romeo Echo Victor Echo Romeo, turn left to heading 330. Climb and maintain flight level. Romeo Echo Victor Echo Romeo, IFR flight plan is canceled. Radar service
Yeah, that's fine.
Log 1200. Maintain PFR. Frequency change approved.
Alright, so now we'll climb up to 27,000 and we'll actually be, let's see where we're at here. We were, let's close that. Yeah, we weren't too far from this point where we're at right now when we lost it last time, so a little half-hour delay. And I will start fast forward. Let's do performance. Yeah, we got a good amount of fuel this time. Didn't change the fuel or anything. Just got right back into it as fast as I could, so we should have plenty of extra fuel, especially at this rate. Now what I want to do is let me slow down our indicated airspeed so we climb a little bit faster again.
Roger. Altimeter 29826.
Shrink this down a bit. Hopefully you guys can still see it. Yep, it's like deja vu. Alright, now that we're up to cruising altitude. Yep, range 200. So as long as we don't, as long as it keeps climbing like that, which it should go even higher because we're going to start speeding up. I just want to make sure we don't overspeed, and then I'll do a fast forward times 16. And we should be in good shape. Once we get closer, we can switch back to, well, while we're fast forwarding either. If we go to flight plan menu, I guess we should wait till we, if I put it in and it's wrong, I'm not sure what happens. So this is what I had in there before, that we would be landing on 31 right, just because of the way the winds were. And we're coming in from a direction that gets to Baghdad. And I don't know what this 7 and 5 and 3B is. So let's do the 5. Figure it kind of seems like it's in the middle of the two. If that makes any sense. And then, again, runway 31. So it's our only choice there. And then, I kind of assumed that we would have ILS. Now, select transition. I would assume that the transition is Baghdad. I don't really know. None of these other numbers showed up any place, so, and since this one's the first one on the list, I'll put enter. Now if we come over here, and we'll go all the way pretty close to the bottom. Oops. Well, that's different this time. Why didn't it take that? Did I not hit go far enough? Okay, 2, enter. 2, enter. 1, enter. Yeah, so we want to, if anything, we're going to go in an ILS. So 2, enter, and then bag them for lack of knowing what else to put in there. Enter. Do I have to do that flight plan like that? There we go. So again, I don't know why it's giving us this no links. Maybe I should just leave them in there. You know, it sort of seems a bit goofy to me that it would come up like that. But look at all the crap it put in there. Things are like duplicated and so I'm not sure if it sort of depends on what. Like, see, this looks like a. We go all the way to the bottom, we go up 1. So see, this is CSR 312. You know, it almost seems like this is one thing, and then this stuff is another one. Maybe. And this is some other way you might come in. Sounds like I have more to learn than just, you would think it wouldn't be that complicated. People go, oh, it's easy, don't be intimidated by it. Well, no, it's not easy. I guess if you know maybe the other planes are less complicated, this might just be an issue with the FMS of this plane. And let's make sure we're not overspeeding. We normally don't. When you leave it alone and let the plane do its thing, it doesn't usually overspeed. But we do want to take our throttles back, or our prop controls down to, oops, not starting feather. Yeah. Then you get into this problem. See how we got, it went into max. So let's go down, off, and back on to max. Let's see what happens. Go back down, all the way, come on, get all the way back up there, please. Alright, so now we got rid of the yellow.
095, proceed on course, climb and maintain flight level 270-1551 heavy.
Back in business. So if you ever get that where it turns yellow because you go back down to the start and feather, go all the way down to off and then back up like as quick as you can. And that seems to clear. So now we lost some speed, but we're climbing back up speed a little bit. We have been on fast forward ×4. So I think I'll keep a little eye on that. And we're off of IFR. So let me go and speed up to 16 ×16 and we'll buzz our way there. And hey, Endlith. Nice to see you on the chat. There's a bit of a 30-second delay, and I'm hoping that the buffering isn't a problem. I've had a bunch of issues this morning. I'm not sure if you just started watching. So I'm kind of fudging it together to get back to where I was. But we are going to zoom up to about 100 miles away and then get into our landing. So everything's looking pretty hunky-dory. I guess we should turn main bus tie off. It scares the heck out of me when this plane does that. got some mountains here. And I think it's going to be a pretty mountainous area that we're flying into, so hopefully it'll be a pretty scenery. And I'm going to take a quick break and run to the men's room. I'll let the autopilot, take over. It's going to be a few minutes. It'll only take me 30 seconds, and I'll be right back. And I am back. Lag spike there. It scares you when you get back to your computer and it's just frozen. It's kind of it happened to me more or less twice this morning. I uninstalled Traffic 360 because of issues at Baghdad airport. So I think when I get done this flight, I'm going to try to see. I like the Traffic 360, but since I put it in, it's been causing me issues. And there goes another lag spike. Let me check something real quick. Microsoft decided I needed their antivirus to permanently be scanning everything. When I stream, it slows everything down. And it makes those lag spikes bigger and frequent. I think it's just an issue of graphics loading, and when you're at 16 times speed, they just don't quite have the time. So we got plenty of extra fuel. So see, even using an estimate of 11 or 1,000, really we estimated 800 pounds of fuel per 100 miles. I'm sorry, yeah. So, and even that, we have way extra. So I think on a short flight, there goes another one of those lag spikes. Let's see how our stream health is doing. Yeah, it's been pretty good. Hopefully, I'm not sure how YouTube live streaming works exactly, but hopefully it will put all these segments together when it processes it, not make it separate ones. What happened to our flight plan here? Huh. Notice there's no thingy here. What does this say? Distance 184. Well, looks like we're going away from it now. Do we fly right past it like idiots? Alright, let's slow down. Yeah, fast forwarding. Yeah, I've never had it jump off like that. Yep, so let's switch over to heading. And then head back like the opposite direction, I guess. I thought we had plenty to go. I know I didn't leave for that long. Let's take a look at the map. see any airports on the whole thing. Yeah, that's where we want to go, right down here. We went right past it, but that was quick. Was I just not paying that much attention? So what I'm going to do is come over here, direct to destination, and we'll go to next, next, next. Yeah, so this has just been one of those days. UGBT. Let's close that. Yeah, so let's get our... Let's go back onto nav, and it should take us back that way, and then let's come into, oh, we're still 4 times, yeah, let's do 4 times speed. No, we're only 50 nautical miles now, so let's reduce the speed. Just go to views, air traffic control, tune to Tbilisi Center, open an IFR. Yep, Wakini. I guess you would say that as VFR, find route. We've got direct to destination, that's fine. We're at 27,000 feet, so we'll put that in. Just so and it's just going to say go directly to that. Okay. Save. No, don't take us back to Baghdad, please. Let's request IFR clearance.
Echo Victor, Echo Romeo, 30 miles north of Uniform Golf 25. Request IFR to Tbilisi, ready to copy. Romeo, Echo Victor, Echo Romeo is cleared to Tbilisi Airport as filed. Squawk 7651.
Is it nighttime all of a sudden? Yeah, something. You know, was I fast forwarding more than 16, I think? Alright, well, I tried not to get you guys at nighttime.
Romeo, Echo Victor, Echo Romeo, cleared to Tbilisi Airport as filed. Squawk 7651. Romeo, Echo Victor, Echo Romeo, read back correct. Radar contact, flight level 271. Turn left heading 210. Descend and maintain flight level 270. Romeo, Echo Victor, Echo Romeo, turn left heading 210. Descend and maintain flight level 210.
The lights on in a second for you
Romeo, Echo
guys.
Victor, Echo Romeo, you are 50 miles northeast. Turn left heading 185. Descend and maintain flight level 210. Expect vector ILS runway 31 left approach. Romeo, Echo Victor, Echo Romeo, turn left heading 195. Descend and maintain flight level 210.
Let's knock back the throttles a bunch. Get to about 1800. Turn left. 95 now. Okay, there we go. Let's get our altitude down to 21,210. And altitude select. Let's get our lights on.
Romeo, Echo Victor, Echo Romeo, acknowledge last transmission.
Okay.
Turn left heading 195, descend and maintain flight level 210. Expect vectors ILS, runway 31, left approach. Romeo, Echo Victor, Echo Romeo.
And we are going to, there's some lights here. So I'm not sure. I wish I could dim or control the dome light with a dimmer. Alright, so we want to come over to here, kneeboard, briefing, and come down to 3-1 left approach. That would be ILS 3-1, in the right airport. And that's Baghdad. There's Tbilisi. Okay, ILS 3-1 left is going to be 2890. So let's select this, and 2890. So now we have the VOR set, and we will go nav source, nav 1. There we go. So we're 40 miles out. It's showing up right there. Very nice. The heading to set our course on is going to be 312. There we go. So that's the direction of our runway. There. So I don't think we need this anymore. Minimum decision altitude. Yep. Now we want to change that, so we want this to be 2,630, even though we're coming in ILS. So if we switch that over, this will be on 200. Now, let's come over here and see if we can make any sense of this. So this is vectors to ILS 31 left. I don't know what, I'm sure this, do we have any other options now? So what I want to work on between this flight and the next one is air traffic control, along with seeing about the 360, traffic 360. Somewhere just up ahead over here is where that is. So we're about to approach our
Romeo, Echo, Victor, Echo, Romeo, descend and maintain 10,000. Descend and maintain 10,000.
Wish they would warn me just slightly sooner.
Echo, Romeo.
Alright, so there's 10,000. And we want to speed, get that back down to 1,800. I'm descending a little bit slower than I might normally because we're a little bit closer for losing this much altitude. And you know what, as a matter of fact, I want to take this sort of to the maximum. 2,200 is quite a descent rate. I want to cut these throttles back to pretty much nothing. So that way we descend as pretty much as slow as we can. I guess we could get our flaps out. Yeah, why don't we do that? Flaps to 5. It's not going to hurt. That'll drop our airspeed a bit. And it should, you know, hopefully we can get down in time for this approach. Looks like we're going to have to fly past the airport, but I'd just as soon drop down as quickly as possible. I don't think weather is going to be an issue, though there are some clouds. So what I want to do is come over here and hit this button right here that says weather or terrain. So we have the terrain on, so 6,100 is our tallest peak down there, so we should be in good shape, dropping down to 10,000. You can see it here, 6,100. I'm not sure what the 7 means there. I wonder if that's the clearance or is that the minimum? Max min in this range. The airport should be at 1,600 feet. That's our speed, 166. That's kind of good. Decent ways to descend. I should turn off, probably should have turned off our landing lights, but now that we're below 10,000 feet, we're getting to it, we'll leave these logo re-inspection lights on. Never did turn on our de-icing. We're only 23 nautical miles. Still got a ways to go down.
125.125. 125.125. Romeo, Echo, Victor, Echo, Romeo. Tbilisi approach. Romeo, Echo, Victor, Echo, Romeo. Descent 13,700. Descending 10,000.
Romeo, Echo, Victor, Echo, Romeo. Tbilisi approach. Roger. Altimeter 3001.
Okay, so we have our altimeter set. Down to 12,000 feet. Georgia. Hit that the wrong way. So local time is 5 p.m. So hopefully we'll land with enough light that you guys can see, because that can be a bit of an issue. So once our altitude is closer, we'll start ramping up the throttles a little bit. There we go. So we'll just go up a bit with the throttles. Don't get over speeding too much.
Romeo, Echo, Victor, Echo, Romeo. Descend and maintain 7,500.
Descend and maintain 7,500. Romeo, Echo, Victor, Echo, Romeo.
And we should be back these throttles back down. Again, I want to get down as fast as I can, reasonably speaking. So we're getting awful close. Any second now, they're probably going to have us turn towards. Now we're getting down here. Let's put on our auxiliary fuel pumps. Trim way up. Forcing that nose down. There we go, so gonna give us another direction right away. Before I have to put on the, well, we're not quite there yet. We'll get to 78. Give us a new one.
Romeo, Echo, Victor, Echo, Romeo. Descend and maintain 5,100.
Descend and maintain 5,100. Romeo,
throttle
Echo,
warning.
Victor, Echo, Romeo.
So I wish they would just warn me a little bit sooner, then I wouldn't have to go through that. You know, not sure if they're going to keep me descending or not. But they'll probably have another one. We're at 1,600. You would think we'd get down to about 3,600. Probably stepping down a little bit extra because of the mountainous region. Are on the ILS, so we can check that it's beeping if you want.
Romeo. Descend and maintain 4,300.
2,500.
Descend and maintain 4,300. Romeo, Echo, Victor, Echo, Romeo.
This time we're just descending 1,800. Only 12 miles away, but so we probably have to turn to the left. My bet is a little bit, and then it'll fly us out to about 20 miles out. So we got down in time, pretty good clip. So I must have been fast forwarding more than time 16. So we just overshot the airport altogether. What is our fuel performance? Say 208. So we still got plenty of fuel, which we could tell just by looking. 550 fuel being this close should be plenty. Well, that's 550 in each tank. So I think it says 535, 530. Let's bring that into 20 miles.
Echo, Romeo. You are 13 miles southeast. Turn right heading 280. Descend and maintain 3,000. Cleared ILS. Runway 31 left approach. Maintain 3,000 until established on the localizer. Contact Tbilisi Tower on 128.
Bringing us right on in there, isn't she? Let's get this down to 1,800. Let's get this to, let's acknowledge.
Right heading 280, descend and maintain 3,000. Cleared ILS. Runway
Altitude
31,
select.
left approach.
So we're in good shape. Let's back off the throttles. Where are you?
Romeo, Echo, Victor, Echo, Romeo.
I'm getting used to the new throttle I have. That should be pretty good. Contact Tbilisi Tower in a second.
Tbilisi Tower, Romeo, Echo, Victor, Echo, Romeo is 12 miles southeast. Inbound
Airport
ILS.
should be right over
Runway
that way.
31, left approach.
Romeo,
Get this where I like it.
Tower, straight in. Runway 31.
How far away are we? 10 miles. So let's get our flaps down to 15. We're not on the glide slope yet, but I like to get that. Let's get the ground warning to 15. We're at 15 degrees of flaps. Did I go to 15 immediately? I don't remember turning that down. The needle's moving, so we're going to approach.
Make straight in, runway 31, left, Romeo, Echo, Victor, Echo, Romeo.
And our speed's dropping off a bit much, so let's get that up a little bit. There's the runway. Glide slope needle hasn't started moving. Let's get rid of that. We don't really need it anymore.
Tower, Pacifica 90356.
Flaps.
Runway 31, right, ready for takeoff. IFR.
Let's get our landing gear. Not landing gear. Landing lights on.
Runway 31, right.
Let's center
For
up the
takeoff,
view.
runway 31, right, Pacifica 90356.
Let's see if that. We're holding 111 knots. A little bit slow, but just don't want to lose any more. Turn up the throttles a tad. We can come down pretty quickly in this airplane. It's not a big need to. It's one of the reasons I put it on 15 flaps. If you have it on 30 flaps and you're light, this thing will bounce down the runway the whole way. You kind of want to come in a little bit fast and almost like crash. That's why they call it the Crash 8. You really want to fly it right into the runway kind of thing. Alright, I am going to trust this ILS. It's still saying we're off to the right, which we are. Hopefully it starts turning us nicely before I lose faith in it. There's our glide slope needle.
Romeo, Echo, Victor, Echo, Romeo, cleared to land, runway 31 left.
Cleared to land. Runway
Right.
31 left. Romeo, Echo, Victor,
Back off
Echo,
the throttle
Romeo.
a little bit. A little bit more.
Tbilisi Tower, orbit 6048, IFR Saraha, ready to copy. Orbit 6048.
And a little bit
Cleared
more.
Dallas Airport is filed. Fly runway heading climb and maintain 12000. Departure frequency is 125.125. Squawk 144.
A little bit more on the throttle, a little bit less throttle, I should be saying.
Contact Tbilisi, departure 125.125.
125.125 for Pacifica 935.
Yep, ILS is doing real nice in this airport. What is buzzing?
1000.
6048, cleared Saraha Airport is filed.
Oh,
Fly runway
landing
heading
gear.
climb and maintain 12000.
That's why we're
Departure
gaining speed.
125.125. Squawk 144.
Landing gear. Good idea to put the landing gear down.
Contact ground on 128.0.
Alright, now that we got the landing gear down, let's slow down some more.
Approaching 3-1 left.
Let's take off the autopilot. Hopefully we don't mess this up.
500.
What are the winds? 14, pretty much right ahead of us.
Tbilisi ground, orbit 6048 with Victor, ready to taxi. I am on
Orbit
100.
6048. Taxi to and hold short of runway 31 right using taxiway Charlie. Contact tower on 128.0 when ready.
taxi to and hold short runway 31.
Minimums.
Using taxiway
Minimums.
Charlie. Orbit 6048.
100.
I've done this every time recently.
50. 40. 30. 20. 10.
Greaser landing. Alright, throw reverse thrusters on. Brakes.
Romeo, Echo, Victor, Echo, Romeo, turn next taxiway.
Final destination.
Really don't need the reverse thrusters so much in this plane, but
Until the aircraft is reached.
I got a button now linked to my joystick. I'll show you guys how to do that if you
On
want.
behalf of our airline, we'd like to say goodbye to you now. It was a pleasure having you as our guests, and we look forward to welcoming you on one of our aircraft again. Thank you and goodbye.
Romeo, Echo, Victor, Echo, Romeo, turn next taxiway.
Yep, here I
Romeo,
am.
Echo, Victor, Echo, Romeo, contact ground on 128.0.
128.0 for Romeo, Echo, Victor, Echo, Romeo.
Alright, let's put on our parking brake for a minute, turn some stuff. Let's request taxi to the
Tbilisi
gates.
ground. Romeo, Echo, Victor, Echo, Romeo. Taxi to the gate. Romeo,
Taxi
Echo,
light
Victor,
on.
Echo, Romeo.
This
Taxi
to
to
red.
gate 10.
We'll leave the
Taxiway
wing
Alpha
lights on
Charlie.
because it's kind of dark. Let people see us a little better.
Taxiing to gate 10.
We'll turn on our
Taxiway
progressive
Alpha
taxi. We
Charlie.
can turn this
Romeo,
off.
Echo, Victor, Echo, Romeo.
Turn our bleeds off. Put that to minimum. The ice protection's not on. Turn this off. And that should be reasonably good to get us there. Put this control lock on so we don't overspeed. You know what? We came down without maximum thrust. Huh. But we made a greaser out of it, so we probably should have turned up our RPMs on our props.
Approaching 13 left.
So I guess it's almost nighttime there in Tbilisi, Georgia. And it's my plan to take a reasonably short break, get something to eat. The airport cafe here. And I am going to fiddle around with maybe Traffic 360, but I would also like to do something about the air traffic control. Let's see if I can't get a better air traffic control software.
Orbit 6048, runway 31, right, ready for takeoff, IFR, Orbit 6048, cleared for takeoff, runway 31, right. Cleared for takeoff, runway 31, right, orbit 6048.
Guess it turned dark out. Put this to the taxi switch. Alright, well, we made it, and we didn't flip up in the air when we landed at this airport. Oops. Got our parking brake on. Let's turn off our taxi lights, wing lights, logo light. Back down our prop controls to start and feather. Let the motors wind down for a minute. Throttle is all the way back in the disconnect position. So let's start shutting things down. We'll put our altitude bug back down to 0. We'll turn off the yaw damper and that. Turn off the radio controls. Turn off the weather radar. Turn off the recirculator. Turn off the position lights and the anti-collision.
Contact Tbilisi, departure on 125.125.
And let's shut the engines down completely.
Orbit 6048.
Boom. We'll open up the doors. And again, we've made a flight. It was a mess of it. I hope it all gets put together on the... If you guys go watch the replay, you can see the problems I had in the beginning of it. And other than that, I'm going to shut the battery off, and that'll kill the plane entirely. Boom. And I hope you guys enjoyed the flight. And I will be back on a little bit later to do another flight someplace. So take care of yourselves until then. Have a good one. And bye-bye.